and that's what it's really all about at the end of the day as artists, right? Is we just got to keep going, right? And like it's not
Jesus.
It's not.
This is lit. I'll keep going. Should I keep going?
Do it all the time for that feeling. Do it all the time for that feeling. Do it all the time for that feeling. Welcome to Discipline Stoners, the gateway drug to mindfulness. Look deeper.
We're here to grow.
And welcome back to another episode of Discipline Stoners. I'm your host, Ellevan.
My name is Winnie, and we are the gateway drug to mindfulness.
And today, a long time coming. I think it's finally our first full musician episode. This is my guy, my G, been holding it down on the drums with me and many other great Toronto artists. This guy is major Toronto talent. We got a producer, we got a drummer, we got a content creator. We're gonna go up and down the ladder, but please get your joints up right away for my bro, your new friend, Julian Fatsound.
Hey, thank you guys so much for having me on the podcast.
Finally.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be here.
This is 10 years in the making, I feel.
Honestly, yeah, we've known each other for over 10 years now because Ralphie turned 10 years old.
Oh my God.
And so
Yeah, Ralphie loves Uncle Fatsound. I bet he's under your...
There's this legendary picture of us at... What studio was that? Downtown on like Jarvis Street or something? Yeah. And Ralph has always been like a little gig dog, and he's like in your arm. He's like this big.
Yes, he's like
and
2 weeks old. Yeah.
You're sitting at the drum kit, and I just remember Ralphie like going in the soundstage room and like there, and just like right away he took to you.
Oh my God, he was a cute baby, eh?
Yeah, but if the dog's 10 years old, then so is our friendship. So
Yo, facts.
That's crazy.
Even
so nice.
like I feel like a year or two even before
Like,
that.
might have even been yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, because we were rocking those shows with Javon Taylor
Yeah.
and like Stacy.
yeah.
You're good. Yeah, basically, okay, yeah. So we can start at the top of our friendship. We can go in terms of like where we are now and what you're doing. But like, yeah, let's dive in from like the beginning of time.
Man.
I guess we can start from our friendship, but you can also just start of like you starting music in Toronto.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've just always been here. Like, I was born downtown, lived downtown my whole life.
You're the
Just
only one.
Been downtown Toronto this whole time.
That's unusual for those who
Yeah.
are outside of Toronto.
It's fire.
So, yeah, I'm just a Toronto baby.
So sick.
Lived here my whole life.
And you went to Rosedale?
Yeah, I went to Rosedale High School of the Arts.
Yeah.
For-
I never
for
knew
high
about
school.
like
So you've always-
specific schools until I got to Ontario. I've never
Yeah.
experienced that before, and I was like, "What? You could go to a high school for
Yeah, technical or...
acting? Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah. Yeah, so I
good.
went to school for drama and music
Sick.
because those were the two things. And yeah,
Yeah.
less drama, I think, after high school, but
Yeah.
You get
still drama, you know.
Yeah. I
always
like to
drama.
mess around.
There's always drama.
So you're in Rosedale. You start to play drums at what age?
I played drums when I was 9.
Okay.
Whoa.
I started playing drums when I was 9 years old because my parents took me to a party with this guy, Kenny Kirkwood. He's still one of my favorite music teachers.
Kenny.
Shout
and I
out
play in
Kenny.
his band now,
What?
which is like full circle moment. But yeah, the guy who taught me how to play music is a saxophone player.
Let's go.
And he had a drum kit in his house, and I found it at this party, and then they couldn't get me to leave the room where the
Yes.
drum set was. I just wanted to figure it out. Just sitting there, just trying to. And drums, I think, is interesting as an instrument because it sounds like the piano. It sounds exactly the way that it's supposed to sound, like the first time you try to play it.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh, and so you can kind of figure it out with your brain. You're like, oh, it's combinations of these sounds, you know?
Nah, you
And so
can't.
I
Can figure it out with your brain, but not just anyone can figure it out with
Maybe,
their brain.
I'm not gonna say that I was good by the end of the party. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was just making noises, but
Right.
And they were intriguing you.
they were. They could see that I enjoyed myself enough that they were like, "Do you want to
Pursue this?
Yeah, do you want to go over there for drum lessons?" And I was like, yes.
Oh,
yes, please.
At 9.
9 years old.
And then so by the time you were 14, 15, you knew how to play the drums.
Yeah.
And what did that, I'm always curious because like I grew up in Vancouver, and there wasn't as much as a bustling music scene that I perceived. And I feel like Toronto has the Beaches Jazz Fest. It has outdoor music gardens. It has like this kind of more music-y culture. What was that like you? Because by the time we met, and I do want to get to that, you were so fucking hot in the studio today.
The lights and everything.
Yeah, you were already so far in, kind of, I'd say, acclimating to that scene that I dove in, and I'd love to hear from your perspective what the fuck it was like to watch an Ellevan land in Toronto. But like, so tell me about that process. Like, say before we met, I think when we met you were like 22 or 20 or even younger.
Yeah,
or something.
when was Kitsch? You know?
Yeah, when was Kitsch? 2012.
Okay.
And
So
2013, like that for a whole first
so
year
that's
that I was
2 years
there.
after high school, so that's like 21, 22. Yeah.
Yeah. So between, you know, learning drums and then growing into that Fatsound that was, you know, a young man out here gigging and hitting up every bars, and me and this guy have put in, we probably own the most consecutive collab work sessions. Like, this guy's just down to fucking bust it. You played on me and Elise Bauman's project.
I did.
You had Meat Locker jam sessions that really you hosted this. And as a young guy in his 20s, like, this guy was like paying to have this space and these artists flow through. So I want to give you those flowers because so many people wouldn't have met each other.
Yeah,
so many crazy special jams wouldn't have happened. And I feel like you took that responsibility early to show up and hold space for music.
I mean, I gotta give credit where credit's due. It's the flow.
The band.
The flow. The band, the flow was the catalyst for all things Meat Locker, and so
that's sick. Shout out to Flow Respect.
Yeah,
you guys had a time.
Right out of high school, we started this band called The Flow, and it was me and this guitar player Dylan Rocket from the Beaches.
We have a video together where we're fucking jamming in a cemetery.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we throw that up. That's great.
Yep.
It's a great clip.
All freestyles, all unrehearsed, all truly yours. All black nighttime, it's a scary mail. Life goes wrong, it's not a fairy tale. But I'm barely here, meaning I don't see my reflection in the mirror, cause I haven't been near anyone that shows compassion. The everlasting of passion is not lasting so long, so I'm lashing out at everybody who thinks they actually have it, when inside a palace turns to mansion. But Mrs. Alice turns into Wonderland, and then she runs into a rabbit, and I wonder him, does he have a good intention? And then again you come again, if it was in person he's an intimate, getting too close and I'm into it, doing these fucking videos for the internet, getting cut off like bitch I wasn't finished yet, but give me 2 more seconds and I'm on to them, gone again. You wanna rock, we'll call a friend, go ahead, seriously, in this day and age, that's all it is. You gotta call someone up or text them, no disrespect, sitting next to them and flexing, but goddamn I bench press, but I gotta really work out, cause if I try to get these words out, it doesn't work out. No one can actually talk every time I'm hurting.
Dylan Rocket and I had just a bunch of jazz idiots, hang out and play hip hop songs and like covers of Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
And like
Swimming Pools was out then, right?
Yeah. We had Disclosure. We had a Disclosure cover that we did.
Was Ashley B in that with y'all?
Ashley B.
She was around that time.
She was around. We were her band in some form. Like
right.
Part of the flow became Ashley B's band.
Right.
With a different guitar player.
Got it.
Yeah, but yeah,
So
it was
when you're-
a magical little scene.
So sorry.
When you're this 22-year-old kid and you're like putting together these sessions and you're starting to do shows and you're playing as part of people's bands, like what is the, I guess, natural progression for a musician out of school or whatever, maybe not out of school, but just like those starting gigs and like what's the dream at 22?
I mean, I think it's probably the same as someone who moved into the city to try to do something. You're trying to just get established, get a name for yourself, have people recognize you.
Yeah.
And I don't know, music was always this thing that I just did in my basement by myself. And so it was weird, like coming out of going to an arts high school where people take this thing really seriously that I've been doing in my basement. You know?
Yeah.
It was weird. And then having that turn into something that could actually be a job after high school was weird. I was like, oh, okay, I've been doing this already.
Yes.
Maybe I'll just keep doing it, you know? Like, I don't know, you know?
That's kind of cool.
It was weird. It's like one of your hobbies from when you're a kid just turns into your job, your actual job. And so the whole time there was a layer of imposter syndrome, I feel like, just because I never left my basement, right? I was just the kid in the basement with my little drums practicing. And so I just felt that all the time. And I think, like your question, in order to get, to a place where I felt like people knew who I was and that I was doing cool stuff and that I needed to contribute somehow to this scene. And so, I think the Meat Locker was my first contribution.
Very
I was
cool.
like, let me have a space.
Yeah.
It wasn't even my space, but like, let me share this space.
Yeah. Yeah, it was epic. He'd always either come home, sometimes not that night, but like the next, like pretty early.
It was one of those spots.
Oh man, yeah, you're there till 4 or 5.
But like, so if I didn't see him at night after like maybe a jam, if I saw him in the morning, it would be like he'd just be in such a good mood,
I was at the Meat Locker all night.
And
also, let's say like sometimes like we'd invite many people to come jam there. Some of them would be like female singers or like guy musician artists, like not always like necessarily the most street savvy folks, and we would invite them to the Meat Locker, which was in kind of an industrious area.
This is the reason you get stuck there till 3 a.m.
Yeah. So and you turn down like a wild street, like a random street out of nowhere, off of like Laird.
South of Eglinton, just the randomest
Eglinton
location.
and Laird.
It's just train tracks and like the Don Valley up there. There's nothing.
I like it though.
Yeah, but then you turn down the street, and then at the very end of the street, there's like a car graveyard, and then you start to have this thought of like if somebody was gonna murder me,
this is how it would go down. Right. They would send me to a fake location, and then tell me, we'll go around the back. Yeah, go around the back. It's around the back to the right. Yeah, for sure.
Go deeper in this car graveyard that has random. And you can hear the train. And you were like, I'm in the middle of nowhere.
You had to start, if you were going to bring girls there, like after dark, you had to start from the subway.
Yeah.
With just preparing
It's
them.
weird. It's a little bit weird.
Just listen, it's going to be super sketch. Don't worry about it, okay? Like I'm telling you now, you're not going to know where, like you're going to be like, what's happening? Where are we going? I promise you we're going to the correct location.
I felt like I was in this kind of California lofty garage jam space.
It was weird.
Like,
the door was literally a portal.
And
it was
And like we had people did live sessions there.
The number of videos that came out of the Meat Locker, I probably still do.
And like
is a lot.
Like
so
the talent
nice.
that went through there. Anyway, so that was pretty magical. And remember we had those big jams with like random like Mike Celia, Nico, like just and just like people who would never meet each other. It was so special. And if I'm not mistaken, you kind of developed your production style there.
Yes,
like you started making beats.
That was when I started making beats for sure. Yeah,
because I remember Fatsound before beats. Now it's like that's a whole sector of your brand.
Yeah.
But I used to just be a guy who played the drums.
Yeah, which was super sick. And then I remember,
I was good at it.
You could always roll heavy, and you'd always get compliments. Like the first time I invited Rob Christian to come play with us, he was like, "Bro, your drummer's good."
Yeah.
He's like, "That's a good drummer for you."
From Rob Christian, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, when he looks in your eyes and he's like, he calls me by my birth name, like, "Yo, this guy's good for you." Rob Christian getting all deep. I'm like,
oh,
I know.
Serious.
I know.
Damn.
But the pockets
He has
you
a
got.
birthday coming up, I think.
Shout out Rob with
Shout
the
out
Leo.
Rob
He's a
Christian,
Leo,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
I
So
haven't seen him in forever.
yeah, he won't answer my text now. Let's shoot that elephant in the room. We had a really solid season together.
Yeah,
And-
you guys loved each other.
Yeah, we still do. It's all good,
I know,
baby.
that's
But
all
not
good.
everyone's Fatsound. You evolve with some, and that's okay. Everyone's all still loving and doing their thing. But I did want to say, to watch you go from drummer man who was like killing it. Like when I first met you, that's right. I basically like met Javon Taylor, who I was writing and co-producing and kind of had this little trio with Epic the Grand, Seth Dyer, and
man.
Javon Taylor back in the day.
That's a
And
throwback.
I got to be the white boy in the trio, and that was really fun. And then, which led me basically to his band. And then for a while, I guess it was kind of just like Ellevan with the Javon Taylor band, like
Yeah.
with you, Stacy,
Yeah.
Ben.
Right. That's right.
And
Oh
that-
my God, what
That's
a
right.
crew.
That did happen. Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, I met this other guy who's really great at the Kitsch open mic, Jem.
Right.
Which kind of then that became the 11 band
And you
for
started
a while.
making your own band at that point.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That's
it was
literally-
I moved away from Sylvan Sessions, which was a
That's
duo.
right. That's right.
That's my dream round table. Seriously.
Stacy, Ben,
Stacey-
Fatsound, and Jem.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
and you.
But yeah,
and
that
me
was
moderating.
totally
I would
it.
love that.
That-
It was all Kitsch. Kitsch was happening, and we were doing weird versions of the same band, but like with different people.
And
Yeah,
sometimes
so
I'd
many
have-
bands throughout the years.
I'd have Ben Foreign, and Jubon,
Yeah,
Oh my God.
that was crazy.
which was intense because
Yeah.
I didn't realize the lead guitarist
Oh, yeah, they're both-
ego.
oh,
of
yeah,
it.
they're
Not-
both-
Not like they both had good attitudes, but I just mean like you want to be.
they both want to shred. They both want to shred.
And they both did shred.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of the 11 show became the guitar show that time. At,
Oh, man.
Was it 40-40 or Undone
Yes.
Dust or something?
Yes.
Like,
And both of them
30-30,
are such
yeah.
a vibe in
Yeah.
their own respective
Benny
shreds.
is this like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, John Mayerish, handsome white boy with and he got all the style of rock and roll, and then Jube is basically Jimi Hendrix but Persian. Like,
Honestly, yeah. Like, accurate.
so I love always, bro, about you. You're in the nucleus, and there's all these wonderful artists flowing through and around you, and you're sourcing inspiration, or how's that going? How is playing with all these different people, myself included, affecting you and your artistry and the way you approach? And
Yeah, well, okay, so as a drummer, like you're only good if your band is good. You know? And so I think the 20s in general was just a period of finding and collecting people who I like to play with.
Yeah.
And who make me sound good and I can make them sound good, and it's like a mutually beneficial thing.
Definitely.
Right. And I think in that process I found you and you found me. But also, like, I collected all of my musical friends, right? Like anyone who I call for anything at this point.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're so loaded with network. The
But
talent
that's
is
the
thick.
job. That's the job at that point, right? Is gain network, right? Because your network becomes your net worth, right? Like you literally,
spit it.
you need those connections are the things that make you more powerful in the industry and make you have the recognition that you're looking for, right?
There's always in entertainment, in most sectors of entertainment, there's like the Adam Sandler cruise.
Yes.
Like there's these crews that you just get together with and you
Yeah.
vibe and jive, and then you do that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, you're my
And
new
it's
sports
so
team for sure.
sick.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Okay, so then now though you have like a duo. Like what does
I'm okay.
hydration
Got-
station,
got
buddy?
lots, bro.
Okay,
Yeah, we can get you more kombucha.
And there's more. Yeah.
So yeah, the dream and the job of the
Yeah.
20s was to get that all of that experience under your belt, to expand this network, to find your people, and
Yeah.
you've done that now. And now where has it led you? What is now the dream?
I think the dream has kind of always been the same, and I think I'm just trying to be the most true I can to my like 9-10-year-old self, who just wanted to be like famous and like you know, on the radio, like whatever those
Successful.
things mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We also have a skewed idea of that because we had fucking, you know, A and B sound. At least that's what we had in BC and Kelowna. But I don't know what your music shops were here. But Do you like music?
HMV,
Music
yeah.
was such a
Yeah.
different thing for us as kids. You know, we'd
I
go
think,
to
yeah.
these stores and
Well, I mean,
spend
we had
hours
CDs
in
and
these
stuff.
stores
Yeah.
listening to music, figuring out what we're going to spend our money on.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's literally gone. That doesn't.
Well, this is the thing, and I think like at that time, I felt that music had this crazy cultural significance, and so it seemed like an admirable thing to do. You know?
Yeah.
Like that the sleeve, like the booklet
Yeah,
that came
yeah,
with
yeah.
CDs.
Mhm.
I would go through that
Yes. Yeah,
like
me too. The
45
jackets, yeah, you
times in
gotta
the
read
first
out- you gotta
couple of
read
days.
all the liner
All the
notes and-
lyrics,
yeah.
everything extra. Like it was a
Who
whole
worked on it?
vibe.
This
Where
guy
was-
played cowbell on one track. you know,
Yeah.
like-
Where was it recorded?
Yeah.
Like, in
Yeah,
one
yeah.
city. Like that's so
Who
cool.
wrote it? Like there, and that was so interesting. And then the artist would always put like a little note inside. Like
I did that on my first shit.
it was
I remember
just
someone.
a fucking whole thing, and that doesn't happen anymore. And I think that's probably really changed the experience of like what fame is.
I think so, but I think it's still there. And I think to kind of answer your question, like my goals now are just to kind of get back to that place. Whatever I have to do, marketing wise or like business wise or
Yeah.
whatever, you know, to build a brand to the point where I can make a record that people will actually buy, you know, have a vinyl that people actually want.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
right?
I feel like
This
you
is the
are
stuff.
you're going at it earnestly, like myself, and it's like if you look back at any of my journey, it's undeniable that you've been there. And I know that like other artists and people in the city feel like that. I just feel like that energy is so important because a lot of people only show up to do the hard work when the hype is there or when it's convenient.
Yeah.
But like like you are seriously down to like build, and that's just like takes so much courage.
I think
And you must have to be obsessed with that special feeling because you're kind of chasing what, like why? Like I know we've been doing it together, but we don't often sit around and philosophize why. We're often
Right,
just kind of
right.
uncovering the how or making the what.
Yeah.
Like my last couple beats,
Right.
this guy like we just comes over, we sesh, he makes it right there, and then I just start writing, and it's an effortless process. Like you and me get in the flow,
Yeah.
and I know that you have to have this crazy driving desire of maybe you said that special feeling of Hollywood or fame or something. Like what do you feel is it that's driving you to constantly show up and do that gritty work that nobody wants to do?
I don't know. I think I've been this same person for a bunch of different people, and I love being the person that gives someone the permission to try to go after what they're actually like, what they actually really want to try to go after.
That's so big.
Why?
Just I don't know, because that's what I would want someone to do for me. You know, I think that's what it comes down to, and it's like.
And you know people are gonna eventually help you reach your goals if you build theirs
Yeah.
with them too. Like if I want to see you in a good light, then you want to see me in a good light. And every time that an opportunity comes up or a project comes up, like it's gonna be like best case scenario that thing.
Yeah, I think it's you put your eggs in a bunch of different baskets.
Yeah.
You know, and
I think that's really important for an artist.
yeah, I think you just gotta go out. You know, like we said, your network is your net worth. Like you just meet people, you make those connections, and then those connections turn into gigs. Or I can't tell you like how many times I've gotten a gig just right on the end of a gig. You
Yeah.
finish,
Oh,
you
yeah.
finish a gig, and then someone comes up to you and
They're
they're
like,
like,
"Hey, are you
I
available?"
have this thing. It's like
Yeah.
August 15th. Are you around? I'm like, yeah, please. You know what I mean? Like, what is it?
No better way that like as soon as you perform,
You've just seen my resume. I just
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just did the thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
like do you
Yeah.
like no more proof required.
Yeah, no, I think doing those things and being in those rooms with people all of the time, I think it's easy to, I don't know, fall into the background or like
Not prioritize
Yeah.
your own dream.
right. But
But you have this thing that works for you. Like that's like I put you as a producer at Featured By because I'm like you claim that avenue like DJ Mustard, like
Yep.
DJ Khaled, but without being yelling on the tracks like Khaled. But like you have a feeling. What a feeling.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you have a thing, like
vibe.
a persona that people can tell, like Fatsound touched this or something. Like it
Right.
has a certain bounce to it.
Yeah.
And like so, it's been great to watch you build your personal brand amongst other people doing their thing.
yeah, I mean, I think it's everyone's a mirror, right? And so you just kind of use other people to reflect back what you want to reflect about yourself. And so if you're surrounding yourself with the right people and getting into the right conversations, then you start hearing your own ideas come back at you, and you're like, oh, cool, okay, it's like
some validation,
it's just the same
affirmation.
It's just the same stuff.
Yeah.
When you start having your friends just be like, hey, just make the video, hey, just post it, just
Yeah.
like you guys are for me, right? Like it's that stuff that's really what's gonna help you keep going, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's what it's really all about at the end of the day as artists, right? Is we just got to keep going, right? And like it's not it's not that crazy, right? But it is that crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's literally
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's like not that dramatic, but it absolutely
like
is.
it so is. Like,
Yeah, like let's talk some real being artist shit. Like I remember a time you lived right near Christie Pitts Park, and I believe the attendance there was Daniel, Noel, Ben, Foreign, me, Bridgie Smalls, you, and like one other person. And like none of us had any money.
oh no. No,
Like
less, negative money.
Less than
negative
no money.
Yeah.
Less than no money. Because we had
Like I borrowed $20 for gas money.
Yeah.
To get to the show.
like it was insane. Like we had minus nothing because we had no money and then still items that we had to pay for. And as much as Jesus, like especially as a lead artist times, like it would pay me not to pay everyone, but it's like we either don't take this opportunity and don't get seen and don't post a video, or we do it and like we just bite it and get as much food for free as we can. And I've performed for Beer and Nachos, for so many years, and like you've literally been there with me a lot of the time, or I've seen you like grinding it out with other artists. And I mean, times when I could order pizza at the Meat Locker, it was like fucking Christmas. Like I felt like I just got some marketing job, and I'm like, fucking let's do it, fucking 3 extra larges like at this 2 a.m. jam. And like we had nothing at times.
Man, that was the stuff though. Like
that was the passion.
I remember being 20, 21 years old, and it's like you go to Tim Hortons and you're like, your friends are like standing around. You're like, hey, do you want anything from Tim Hortons? And like, I don't have any money. I'm like, that's not what I asked you. You know?
You gotta
like,
give something, and you
what
help
do you
each
want
other
from
out.
Tim Hortons,
You help each other out, and that's the thing. Like, and in times like when we were all kind of thugging it out like that, there was no complaining.
No, there was some complaining.
Well, sure, but it wasn't even always about that.
No,
though.
It wasn't about that.
It wasn't some privilege
about that.
complaining.
No.
It was like, dude, we're still here,
Yep.
making tunes. We got some beers, like.
What's so funny is like
It's
now
the hang
with
or
like
something.
money and like
It's to
freedom,
become a business.
like I have hindsight, and what I'm actually just trying to go back to is like a model that looks like what we were already doing
Yeah.
when we were like 20.
Eating well.
But like funded, and like not in a crazy
We were doing it.
We
are
worm farm.
doing it.
We were talking about like some of our favorite Toronto memories, and it was really interesting to note that in all of them, we were fucking broke.
All
Like
of the magical
all of the
moments,
magic and
we had
like these
nothing.
beautiful moments that live in our hearts and minds, and it had nothing to do with money.
Yeah.
And it's almost sometimes the absence of it made for creativity that we wouldn't have arrived on in the first place without that, or if we were hyper funded from the get-go.
Right.
And I mean, I like to keep my tools very minimal. That, like my computer interface and mic, and like basically.
Yeah,
a MIDI plugin, but-
T-Pain like wrote whatever, buy you a drink on basically the same setup that
Yeah.
you have at your house.
And that's
like
what-
that's all it takes.
That's
That's
all you
literally
need.
all it takes.
And so like, okay, so if that's the
If you
benchmark
can
of
hear the computer,
Yeah.
if the computer can hear you,
yeah.
that's it. That's all you need.
You require materials that are very simple, but so I feel like all of those times we were in the quantum field of energy, just kind of like floating, picking up ideas, bouncing off each other, and like building these relationships, of course. And it was also, we're in a unique position because it was also during the dawn of the internet expansion.
I was about to say like
Stories weren't a thing yet.
everything
when we were first
everything
friends.
changed from the time that we like were like, I want to do that musician
Yeah.
thing, to the time that it showed possible for us to actually like
Returns
get
or-
to those goals.
Yeah.
Right? Like all of the streaming and
None of that was accessible at first.
yeah, the internet downloading of like whole albums like changed everything on its head.
What if you've been
Yeah.
observing the music industry basically since like, a teenager?
Yeah, I think I had a pretty simple definition of the music industry. It's you get good enough, and then somebody comes along with money, and they like fix all your problems.
Me
And
too,
then-
bro.
All
That's
of
what I
us
thought.
thought
Right,
this,
right.
bro.
But
I
then,
thought that. Why did
this
we
is-
think
no,
that?
But this
Because
was
we're
real.
dumb.
This was real, though.
I
this,
guess,
this
like,
was
in
real
terms of
in the
labels and
80s.
stuff, yeah.
In the
In the
80s,
80s.
this was real. When they wrote the curriculums that they taught us in fucking
Yeah,
school, it was real.
They were throwing
right?
money
This
around
was
in the
stuff.
80s in music, like music videos. Anyone could do a music video
There
in
were
the 80s.
there were music videos that came out when we were kids that were like as much as a movie in terms of the budget, right? And so like it seemed so possible.
And then there were also ones that looked like it had been done in just like a person's garage
With a
that also
camcorder.
went
Yeah, and it
fucking
also blew
like
up.
Right.
Yeah, blew up.
Right.
Yeah, different time.
But it's yeah.
And also, you guys kind of have moved now because I think we're on the way out of it. But you've moved through this sound perfection that happened in music, where you
Got
couldn't.
tight for
It
a
got
minute.
real tight. You couldn't have any off beat. Them like recording live. I felt like as a band wasn't happening. It was like
2007
one
to
instrument
2000.
at a time would be laid down just to make sure everything was perfect and it got built on top
Yeah.
of each other like that. Like it really was we've shifted through a lot.
Yeah, well, I think Skrillex was in an interview and he was saying that nobody takes computer music seriously. And it's kind of insane at this point in culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That, like we're multiple genres of you need a computer to make it.
Yeah.
of music out of down the road, right? But like now we're at a point where people still like we're not sure about whether or not that's like the actual that's the actual thing.
I gotta say, I was always attracted to the live band stuff. That's why I wanted to do it the way that I did. And also when the song Words and the Melody is coming out, co-produced by you, and Yannick is on it too, I'm like, yo, I pride myself on being in that time one of the fewer rappers that was rocking with a live band because I liked the energy of the flow that came with, okay, tonight we're playing it a little bit slower, tonight we're playing it a little bit faster.
There's an organicness there.
Yeah, there's this humanness underneath like a live thing that I really have always fantasized.
Live is always better.
Oh, it always feels good because we're all kind of moving together. Sometimes you got to perform to a track, that's fine. But yeah, like square plastic beats just don't hold a light stick to playing with a live band.
Yeah, I would argue that it's kind of a pendulum. Like we started kind of in the 90s, early 2000s with like the first computer music, electronic dance music stuff.
Well,
right?
Frank
Like
Zappa had that shit going in late 70s, early 80s too.
Yeah, for sure.
But
yeah.
he was rare. Yeah, like everything took over in the yeah.
Yeah, there were definitely people doing it, but then I think kind of 90s, early 2000s is when it really like now we're hearing it. It's on the radio. I don't think
Like
I don't
Blue.
think instruments were on this at all.
Like
right?
Blue
I'm
Dabba Dee.
Exactly, Blue Dabba Dee is
the Aqua
yeah,
album.
Exactly, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and that other band, You Can Be My Squeeze Toy.
Yeah.
I saw them in
all that
concert.
stuff, like S Club 7, like all of that stuff.
S Club.
Yeah. I think
I don't know what this.
Yes.
and nobody took it seriously back then either.
Yeah.
Right? And I think,
That's
everyone's
true.
like, oh, these teeny boppers with their silly
But they did numbers.
silly
though.
tracks.
And it
of course
became
they did
iconic.
numbers, and it became iconic, and it became the songs that we remember from our childhood.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, musicians and music in general didn't really take the computer music seriously, and then there was a pendulum shift back towards,
Right.
okay, we're playing real music, and
Yeah.
jazz had a bit of a wave kind of in the 2000s, and then kind of 2010s, I'd say more. You know, where like Robert Glasper is like mainstream now, and we're doing like jazz, like the TD Jazz Festival explodes. It's giant.
Yeah.
I think
Is that this month?
that
Just passed.
Oh, shit.
It was in June.
On the Danforth? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was so early in the summer.
Rizzy did it. Jackson
It's
did
like one
it.
of the first ones.
Shit.
Taste of the Danforth.
You did that.
It's really nice.
It's
It's
a vibe.
packed.
Taste of the Danforth is huge.
That's
Yeah.
it. When it gets like really hot and packed there, I get a little overwhelmed.
Street festivals are a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Toronto
some
got a
going
vibe.
on this. Caravanas this weekend.
There's always something going on.
Our neighborhood is fucking flooded. You gotta
It's
come
so
vibe out. We have a
wild.
session. We open the door and we're just like making beats, and like people walk by outside. When you do that shit during Caravana, there's always like people that like
Just
walk by.
come
It's
up.
People just park illegally in our neighborhood because they're like, it's only going to be a $60 ticket.
Yeah,
That's
parking is $100
Right.
right now. This is only a
So
$60
funny.
ticket. Yeah,
That's so
which
funny.
is totally
That's
so
valid.
smart.
I mean, that's valid.
legit. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for you both because I've never really asked you either, Ellevan.
Oh, wow.
What would be the equivalent of, so when we were growing up, like we were just talking about, like the getting the record deal, you know, getting some money behind you and then working that money off via tours and then hopefully making money on merch at some point and becoming a big superstar was kind of the big thing. Like hearing yourself on the radio was like always an exciting thing for the first time. Things like that. So what would be the equivalent for the artist of that nowadays? Is
mean,
like hearing yourself on the radio still a big deal, or is
I
that?
think that's still cool. I don't know that it's the same as it used to be. Like everybody used to listen to the radio,
Yeah.
kind of at some point during the day.
And now they're fighting with podcasts.
Yeah, now you're lucky if the radio comes on. Like if you drive a car, you'll hear the radio, but that's about it,
rarely,
right? And
if
like
you throw in your favorite
if you
pod
have,
or
yeah,
whatever.
if you have
Yeah,
an
you
aux,
hook your phone up
if
on
you got an
Spotify.
aux, yeah, then it's over.
Most
Right?
people
If
do.
your car's old, then you listen to the radio. Otherwise, see you later. But yeah, no, I think it used to be cool, and it still is cool. You see the Instagram videos that like all those pop stars make or whatever when their song first shows up on
Yeah.
the radio. Like you have to film yourself. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
got to do it when your song first goes on the radio. I think it's lost some of the cool for sure because it's not the same medium that it used to
Yeah.
be. Right? It's not.
There's just
beamed
not
into
as many
everybody's
people are
lives
listening
the
to
same
it.
way, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think so. So I think now is like if you can get viral on TikTok, right? Because you're literally in people's phones, right? And like their phones, in the same way that beaming into their life with a radio
That's
was
such a
possible in like
different
the
way.
50s, right? Like now it's like you have to beam into their life, like into their hand, like into the
wow.
into the little glow box that
Yeah.
they carry, you know?
that they're obsessed with.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What do you agree?
I was on the radio last week. I'm on the radio often. It's just not like it's not the payola version. Like I was me and Kia's song, and then a couple times. But like it's not like that anymore. I think what would feel really good is this whole new curve of access has forced the artists, especially like the lead artists, to kind of like think about what their brand looks like as a business, and you become an entrepreneur. I think it would be nice to have what it looks like to me is have enough consistent streams on all my platforms that money coming in allows me to like put Fatsound on an engineer salary and we have an actual fucking work week. 2 days a week.
That'd be great.
And like, because you deserve a rate for that. You know what I mean? So like, that's what success looks like to me. So I'm currently hustling my songs until I know what that feels like for real in my reality. Then I'll assess the next one, which will probably look like investing back into the business with the artist compound, which will just be our second bedroom in our second place now, or which is our living room right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's for me, success more looks like an earnest, sustainable business doing like $400K a year instead of like getting a $10 million deal and getting heroin 2 years later. Like it's like I want to like make everyone around me comfortable first as an artist. So I have to get comfortable first, and then like that. I think like literally building a business, like it's and so yeah, literally same dream as someone who owns a mechanic shop basically. But it's just in art.
Yeah. No, I totally feel the same vibe. Like it's, you're trying to facilitate with your art, you know, the security of a lifestyle.
Like, I'm not going, oh, I hope my star, it's like my star continues to go like this, and it's just natural. Like, if you have a brand that you keep going at, as you said, and you'll keep getting peaks, and you'll keep having to, you know, struggle through the lows, but always my lows are a lot higher than my highs were before.
No, 100%. I think consistency in your career like that is way more valuable than
One
even
single.
one single viral song, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's possible, and we've seen it happen in the last 5 years, right? For artists to totally disappear.
Yeah.
after one
Don't fuck
one
around.
track. You
Be
know?
grateful, get
what did
right
you do
back to
next?
work.
Like, what did you do
Get
next?
right
was
back
like
to work.
so
Mr.
important, right?
And you'll
Jason Derulo, though, is a good example of being gone for a hot minute and then coming back
But-
because of the viral
This is true.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Because of
You know?
that, I'm just saying, because he got busy on the content.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So, and then you get your celebrity friends
So
involved.
interesting.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting lifestyle, and like, definitely, I think, like it people can perceive it as being unstable.
Yes.
And I think even people within artists within it would sometimes call it that, but it's too much fun.
Guys, it's
You-
so much
it's-
fun.
you-
We get to go fucking
It's too
entertain
much
people on
fun.
stage. It's the best thing
It's
ever.
honestly the best.
Too much fun.
My favorite thing to say is that I hit things for money. Like I get paid to hit things with sticks. Is my job. How stupid is
Okay.
that?
You have such a good attitude, though, man. You do it because it's passion, and then it continues to work out for you. I love that.
Okay, questions for both of you.
Mm-hmm.
You're leaving for a North American tour tomorrow.
Yeah, we are.
You're opening for.
Let's go.
Oh, like who makes the most sense?
With the Ellevan project.
Yeah.
No, individuals.
Oh, individually.
Okay.
Interesting.
But that is also part of his, and he's part
know.
of mine.
This is
Yeah.
the thing. This is the thing.
But yeah, yeah.
But I want you both to answer.
Well,
Okay, fair.
also, like I wear so many hats, so like
Yeah.
in order to answer that question properly, I have to like, which hat am I wearing? Am I wearing the I'm the Ellevan drummer hat? Am I wearing the?
No, you're
I'm
wearing-
like half of Polo Lewis hat. Am I wearing
Let's do
the,
half of Polo
I'm
Lewis hat.
I'm just by myself
I-
guy
I-
hat.
half-
You know.
Well, yeah,
half of Polo Lewis.
It's your show. Imagine the world falls in love with Fatsound as the individual, and you are playing some of your beats like a DJ, almost like the Snoop Dogg show.
Like if I-
and then you bring Polo Lewis out, and then you bring Ellevan out, and then you can.
This got way
you know what I
too
mean?
fucking
that's
complicated.
that's a little hectic.
I'm just saying. Who's who?
If you
opening?
were leaving
If we're
tomorrow,
leaving for a t-
North
if we're leaving
American
for a
tour. I mean, you could choose. I guess you could be the who would you like? What would
Anderson
be?
Paak. Just say
Yeah.
it. Anderson
I
Paak.
mean, I would take Del Hartley. I would take Del Hartley from Toronto.
Oh, who's opening
Who's opening for the tour?
for us?
Yeah.
No, who are you opening
Oh, who
for?
are we opening
Yeah.
for on tour?
Oh, but that's sick though. Did you catch that, Del? You would be his chosen opener out of all of
Either way,
Toronto.
either way.
Now
If
I actually want
we could
both
open for Del Hartley.
answers.
Either way,
No,
either way, you know.
no. I'm saying no. Right? She's asking, like, for instance, the correct answer in quotes for me would be Eminem or NF or Logic because it would fit the marketplace.
I'm
I
just
think,
curious
right?
about.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm curious about who you'd love to go on tour with. I
Well,
just
Anderson
said
Paak.
it in a cool, interesting way.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I just exist to put different things together so that I have the most chances of going on tour
Yeah.
possible. You know.
Well, you do
Fuck
some
yeah.
runs with Kanon, right?
I do, yeah. And so in that case, it's like we fly somewhere and then we like. You know, we've driven around.
Do a
and we have-
festival.
we have hotels, and it's very nice. It's very nice.
Do a club
Fuck
show.
yeah.
We'll do like a big festival.
See,
it's
you
like
get to
lots
do that.
of people, right?
You get
and then
to
we'll
fucking do that.
go back to the hotel. You know, like that's all very nice. You know, it's a very comfortable tour. But like
Yeah.
some part of me still wants to like live in the van.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't. You're just like
'Cause
I just
you're
want.
not
I'm just
scared.
trying to figure it out. You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah. I think
I don't
that's
know.
great that you'd be open to that, though.
Yeah.
You know.
I like.
I
Well,
get that too.
I feel like you do it, and then you're like, I did that, but I didn't do it yet, so I want to do it.
Yo, okay.
I think-
I seriously feel like you, me, and Yannick have the ability for a song to blow up and do that. I could see the trio doing
That'd be
something
sweet.
really
Yeah,
good.
it'd be sick.
Yeah, that's my favorite setup.
I like
actually,
that,
right
yeah.
now. You, me, and Yannick, because he's so fucking nuts. He can play the moog with one hand and the keys.
Yeah.
And sing.
Yeah.
it's unfair to
It's
him.
like 3 musicians.
I rap you. You play drums. Anyway, that's cool. Great question.
Okay,
though.
okay. I think this is gonna be way more complex than I ever thought it was gonna be. But next question, okay, for both of you. You get to produce a beat with an artist. Who are you choosing?
Kanye West.
Kanye West, huh? Oh, you get to produce with him.
Yeah,
I'm in
together.
the studio.
You're
I get
working
to see
on a
his
beat
process.
Cool.
Scott Storch, Kanye West.
Kanye West is Kanye West would be cool. I mean, that guy's a little crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Be nuts.
But it would definitely be very cool. I would love to be in the studio with like Daft Punk.
I've already thought about Daft Punk with this interview.
That'd be so cool, right?
Yeah, that would be really cool. And you'd get to see their faces.
Yeah. I mean, I think people have seen their faces.
I think so too. I just.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre, I'd watch his mixing process.
Dr. Dre would be crazy.
Dr. Dre.
I want to be in the studio with T-Pain.
Nice.
Apparently, T-Pain's just nasty at everything.
Yeah.
Like
I've heard
engineering,
that actually too.
producing, and singing all at the same time.
Everything.
Like just kind of just being nasty
He's
at all three.
nuts. Shout out T-Pain, yo. Come on the show, bro.
Okay, I have another. Okay, those were good answers. Thank you.
Yeah.
It wasn't complex for you that time, but you named like 17 artists. So
It was complex for you.
you get to be on the writing team for a pop star that's going to be released as a single.
Ooh.
Who you choosing?
Ariana Grande.
Bro, that was
Yes.
like literally fucking right out of my mouth.
Wow,
Ariana
you didn't
Grande.
even. That was.
Because it's going on the chart.
Ariana
It's going
Grande
on the-
because she's
it's
an
going on the-
amazing
It's going on the
singer.
chart.
She's fucking
she's
cool,
just amazing.
man. I
She's-
think she's a cool gal.
She's Mariah Carey of today.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh my God, Ariana Grande.
I know.
Ariana
I think
Grande. I would love to do Selena Gomez too.
That's another one that was
That'd
on
be
my
very cool.
mind, but I don't know if I like her
I feel
voice
like
that much.
I feel like she's just chill though. You know, if I just like
Yeah,
I'm jealous.
we're-
She's
I think-
on a
I think
TV
we're
show
exactly
with
the same
Steve
age.
Martin and fucking.
It's either me or Ariana Grande, or her or Ariana Grande. But no, Ariana Grande has the exact same birthday as me.
Ooh.
She's a year
Oh.
younger than me.
What about is it Maury Long? The hours and hours and hours.
Ooh.
But she's like an R&B
She's
singer,
more
but like
R&B, yeah.
I think she could do some
R&B
pop
would be
shit
very
though.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doja Cat would be sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got your auto-tune on strap like that? You gotta
You got signed to a label and
Did
they
I?
want to bring a feature on for your first song. Who do you choose?
Yellow Wolf.
Wow, you didn't even have to
Wow.
think. I love that you have the answer. Okay.
Yellow Wolf.
That makes sense.
That'd be.
I'm just like,
That'd
yeah,
be dope.
bars.
I think that'd be
bars,
sick.
Welcome, I'm 11.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would like that. I'd like to see
I
that.
get Fatsound to produce on it.
Signed to a label, and you get to do a feature on your first track.
Like bring a feature
So
on. So it's
so-
your song
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're going to feature on it.
It's Del Hartley again.
It's so nice.
He's so good.
He's so good. And like, fuck yeah.
That's all the questions I have for at this time.
Thank you so much. That was amazing.
That was
Yeah.
fun though.
That was fun. I love those hypotheticals.
What are
That's
your musical inspirations?
I mean, okay, so my entire existence in my 20s can be explained by the Roots.
When I first met Fatsound, I used to call myself, before I met him, I used to say, imagine Eminem if he was in the Roots. That's what I used to say on my Facebook page as my bio. That's what it said.
That's so good.
Then I met this guy.
Yeah.
Who's like
It's like Questlove.
a remanifestation of Questlove, but like Canadian and like
I was just trying to
fucking
be Toronto Questlove.
we're stoners and shit. Like it was just the best. The Roots fit big time too.
Yeah, the Roots was a big one.
And Scott Storch originally started with the Roots.
Jay Dilla's huge, obviously.
Donuts,
Yeah.
Detroit, Slum Village,
Lettuce, the band.
sick.
I don't know them.
Do you know?
They're funk. They're really, really good.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's just like
I like funk.
It's like an 8-person, like horns and just like funk,
Awesome.
just like nasty.
Yeah.
it's really
Puppy.
good. Yeah, Snarky Puppy is crazy. That's kind of not fair though. It's just we've taken all of the greatest musicians from everywhere and put them in one band. So like I don't know if that really.
Yeah,
Of course we're gonna like that. Like
Yeah.
of course we're gonna like that.
Another legend from Toronto, Casey Roberts.
Casey Roberts and the Live Revolution.
yeah.
Dude,
Was
Chino.
a huge influence on my 20s.
Everyone in Toronto was
So
like,
good.
"Yo, you guys are soaring big."
I think it's impossible, to have come through that kind of 2010s phase in the Toronto music scene without
Yeah.
having been exposed to those guys in some form.
I
And
play-
he's so
I-
humble guy. He sold out the Mod Club back when it was a Mod Club. He'd stand right at the front and thank every single person that walked through the door.
Yeah.
Shout out Casey Roberts.
He's so chill, man. He lives in
Yeah.
Parkdale. I see him all the time.
Sweetheart. So, what do you look for in an artist? Because I'm thinking, when I talk to younger artists, I almost tell them, like, find yourself a Fatsound. Like, find yourself someone who's also on a perpendicular path with you, and hopefully you resonate. Or, like, someone out here doing their thing that you guys can both contribute to each other, and there's a value between the lines.
Parallel path?
Is that what I meant? That's what I meant to say. Like going the same direction kind of thing. What do you look for? Like, what is an Ellevan and a Del Hartley and a Dylan Rocket need to be for someone like Fatsound to find their collaborating with them interesting? Like, what do you look for?
I think it's kind of the same everywhere, right? It needs to be easy, it needs to be fun, and then it needs to just work, right? Like, that's kind of it. Those three things.
So dreamy.
It's those three things, and if you can't do, like, if there's one of those three things is missing, it's like it's not.
And it needs to just work.
Easy, fun,
Yeah.
and the shit has
It's just gotta work. It's just gotta work.
Everyone knows what you're talking about, though, when you say that. We know
the chemistry, the result comes out, the video drops, the song gets completed. Like, it has to work,
Yeah.
or it has to work like it has to flow between you guys in relationship,
Yeah.
or both.
I think both. I think just like
has to happen.
interpersonally it has to work.
Right.
But also, yeah, like as a like, you know, we're doing the thing.
The
We're doing the
progress
thing.
is
As
happening.
we gotta successfully do the thing.
Yeah.
If we don't successfully do the thing, then
Yes.
we're not. What are we wasting time out here? Like, what are we doing?
I feel you. Yeah.
How
Okay.
is have you gone through band breakups?
Band
Oh
breakups.
yeah.
A couple.
Or dissolvings, like not dramatic breakups.
Not
but,
dramatic.
but
I know,
projects
that's-
come
that's
and
what I
go.
kind of
I've
wanted
also
to
had a
ask.
couple of like producer partnerships fall apart as well.
Yeah.
Producers are interesting because I think we're.
Solo beasts.
Well, I don't know if we're solo necessarily, but I think we're very
Specific.
We're definitely very specific, and we're very controlling. And so, for those two reasons, you have to find somebody who you can be specific and controlling with instead of battling their specifics
I don't have one.
and their control.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, I don't know, for various reasons, various collaborations haven't worked out.
Yeah.
But
Because sometimes it works for a short amount of time or even a long amount of time.
For a season.
And then at some point, it's not working anymore.
yeah, yeah.
And I mean, we were in an improv troupe that we decided to leave, and that was kind of like an untethering. But
Yeah.
in acting, you know, you always know that there's an end date to your projects, right?
Right, yeah.
Whereas, like, when you're collaborating with someone and it's going well, there's kind of an unlimited, infinite time.
Yeah, they seem like they'll be around forever. And I think there were definitely bands that I was in that felt like, you know, I was going to be in this band forever.
Yeah.
There definitely were situations I was in. I was like, I'm going to produce with this person forever. We're going to work together forever. But then there's also still people who are still around, you know, like
Yeah.
11.
I know!
After 10 years.
I'm so glad.
Dude.
Right? And so it's interesting. And like sometimes you see the people who like you think you're going to go all the way with.
Yeah.
And then it turns out to just be the people who were already around before.
Yeah.
Right?
I've had that experience
You know?
with you.
Yeah.
Like running and going and chasing things and getting these like YouTuber celebrity collaborations and like traveling and doing that. And I'm like, but really, every time I'm there, I'm just trying to recreate what really we already established in workflow. Because it's like, you're right, you can't make. It ends up being the peripherals of those natural fun moments you've developed. And if they're productive, you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I don't know. It's
And yeah, you can't tell. You don't know.
How do you separate like the rights of songs and stuff when you leave a band?
Oh, I mean, you better hope that you did that shit up front, because
Yeah.
if the
Okay.
band
Yeah.
is breaking up and you're now having this conversation, then like you guys are in trouble.
Okay,
Trouble.
I didn't know that
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
like
Unless
No,
everyone's
natural
really
practice.
cool.
when you're recording it, like just put it on paper. Just
Yeah.
put it on paper. Like it's real easy. Everyone signs it, and then it'll just be there if you need it, right? If you don't need it and you're just gonna share everything equally forever, that's fine.
Yeah.
But just put it on paper so that it's like
Yeah.
in writing, you know, when you guys die and like your estates are figuring out who
Yeah.
gets how much money
Yeah.
or whatever. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
something's gotta be written down somewhere. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
just do that.
Huh. Did not know.
Yeah.
I'm sure that people don't do that.
I know people who do that.
don't do
I've
that.
been the guy who doesn't do that. Yeah.
We don't do that.
Yeah.
But then we have that relationship where it is like, I mean, literally, I do it right away on DistroKid. Like, if
Yeah.
he made the beat, I rap on it 50-50.
Yeah, well, so I have to accept the splits from you. So like I know what they are. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's not.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, but you're right. If it's not discussed and if you guys have never published anything together before, or that isn't clarified, fucking have that conversation.
Just write it out.
Have
Yeah.
a conversation.
Yeah.
And it's way easier of a conversation up front and like before anything gets crazy.
While
than
it feels
is-
good. While it
Yeah,
feels
exactly.
good.
You got. We
I'm
made
excited.
a thing. We made a cool thing.
Let's
Hey.
make it official.
Yeah. I did a bunch. You did a
Dude,
bunch. Like here.
Even like if you're
Yeah.
like, bro, I'm not gonna do the bureaucracy of presenting someone a printed out piece of paper. You're like, dude, fucking Google Drive. Haven't I sent you like Google Drive things?
yeah.
Like it's like this, like for the special.
Yes.
Because you
Yeah.
played in it, and so like everyone who like played in it,
Where
like
all the
our
credits,
assets,
like these are all the. Yep.
we all, if there's anything from that, we all get like an even split because
Mm-hmm.
the band like made it all up together. Like I didn't write that drum line and like tell you
Right.
to play it. By the way, that's also, I forgot to clarify that. This guy fucking makes up all the drum patterns on the spot with me as we've been freestyling together for over a decade. I'm the guy who markets myself as that freestyle guy. That's not his thing. He's just forced to lock in and make it up every fucking show with me.
It's actually so
And
funny.
the other musicians as well.
Playing an Ellevan show is really funny. Like I've had to like explain it to bass players when they're like, what are we doing? What are we actually doing? I'm like, I don't know what we're doing. I can't tell you what we're doing. Like he's gonna go up, he's gonna start something, he's gonna say something about like jazz mixed with.
It's always
it's
so
like,
magnificent.
Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and then we're gonna make something into a song.
You
Like,
got-
it's
And that
gonna-
must be because there's different spots for comedians where you're like, hey, you should go do your sets here because there's a challenging aspect to this venue or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
or this audience where you're gonna gain a lot of valuable like experience,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
So that must be kind of the case for those
it's-
musicians, right? Like you show up and you're like, I'm making this up. I get to choose.
Yeah,
and
I think,
figure it out
like
and use
it's
my
the comedic equivalent of like the Second City or something.
yeah.
You know, where it's like maybe even like a structured improv. So like
Yeah.
there might be like you have to follow these specific rules about how a song is created or how a Latin beat sounds or something, right? But
You're
then
always able
you're
to-
also just making it up, right?
How are you informed of the genre? Because it's fun for me to actually turn around and dig into this with you.
Yeah.
I'm often like, I'll ask an audience member anything, and exactly, they can say Latin. I'm always so impressed with the musicians, yourself included, that can like draw from this like akashic records of music that exists in the ether. And all of a sudden, like with rhythm, you're giving me a genre. Did you sit down and learn that?
Yeah, like I went
like-
to jazz school, but
So you have to have a big dick to do porn. You know what I'm saying? You have to show up.
Yeah, I mean-
and that's actually not true what I just said. There's something for everyone. But I
Nice.
I just want to say that like it's so crazy to have to be equipped and ready, and like it's always we surprise each other on the fly. Like
Yeah.
we've gone back and forth with, you're going bucket the and I'm going packing a box, and then like the trade-offs, the listening that has to happen, that is so fucking fun and impressive. What happens in those moments?
Okay, so a few things are in there I need to unpack. First of all, when we're talking about like making up genres on the spot or like going off of like audience suggestions for genres, what we're doing, I think, and I think any of the other musicians that play for Ellevan would agree with me on this, is like we're trying to imagine what you think a Latin song sounds like, right? So I think we're just trying to go with whatever the most common denominator Latin shit would be. Like it's like elevator music, you know, it's like
Oh my God.
you know, like that's where we're going, right? Just off the top, because like you've given us 5 seconds, okay, to make a Latin song, right? Like let's go,
Legit,
right?
'cause it's the
And
last
like
thing
the
that he
audience
asks.
needs to recognize that that's a Latin song. So like we need to do what they think Latin is, right? That's
Holy
that's
fuck,
the whole
bro.
that's the whole thing there. So
I've seen
it's
you
like it's
look-
not good Latin.
So
like
almost what
I'm
is
not playing
common?
salsa or like
Yeah.
something
No,
like
but you're
that
doing
you would
something-
hear at Lula Lounge or something
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean? Like it's not that.
Right, but it's something that like represents that
Yes.
in a simple way.
Yes.
Because also
it's a caricature. It's
I'm-
a caricature
yes.
of Latin as an entire genre.
And then also,
right?
you know that my kind of comedic aspect of the show is I'm certainly not singing proper Latin songs
Right. No, 100%.
either.
No,
so,
yeah. So like, if we make it super authentic, then it's weird
Yes.
with you on top of it. And then if we go
Yeah.
like too jokey, then it's also weird because
Yeah.
like,
I
there's
can't
no-
get into the authentic flow.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So
like,
we have to kind of hit that nail on the head.
and
of
do.
getting what like everybody in the room thinks that jazz is, you know what I
Okay.
mean? Or everyone thinks is an
Yeah.
R&B slow jam or
And-
whatever, you know?
Okay, that's fucking nuts. So, I'm sorry, hold on. You had more to unpack there or no?
Yeah. So
I got another
so that's the first one, and I think we're just kind of characterizing each of these genres as they come. And so we're trying to do like the best example of like, you know, like what would be an easy 3-chord.
I've seen you look at, like, say, the guitarist or the pianist or whatever just before it goes,
Yes.
and you've started it off.
Yes.
Which is nuts.
Yeah.
And you can start it off with kind of the stylistic percussion before the beat drops.
Yeah.
To give them an entry point too.
I think
like,
that's I think
you
that's
sound design
especially in an improvised rap context, for example, right? Like it doesn't necessarily matter what the chords are. So like them trying to figure out a chord progression right off the top that sounds like Latin is like not really helping us get this going in the next 30 seconds.
You're the
right?
best.
We so
Yeah, because you're often the one where, like, yeah, if the other player is newer
Yeah.
to playing with me, they'll be like,
what,
and you'll be
what
like,
are we
okay,
doing? It's fine.
here,
It's fine.
rock
Just
on
do-
this
just
for a
do this.
minute.
Yeah, just do this.
You're such a rock for that, bro.
I don't
It's
think
incredible.
people in the audience really drink in the fact that this is something that you've never done before.
Yeah, though, like we'll never play those songs again. You're like this is the one and only time that like Chupacabra
Yeah.
will be played.
Yeah.
You know,
Dude, that was a sick
this
one.
is a one of one.
Yeah.
Chupacabra, why do you bite me? You're so spitey with your white teeth. Oh, Chupacabra, why do you bite me? You're so spicy with your white teeth. Get behind me. Yo, we're in Ecuador looking for monsters of some sort. What's important? Wander into caves. I'm the head of the lead because I have a narcissistic personality, and plus it's spelled with an A. So I'm to the front. I'm the lead. I'm like, geez, guys, stay behind me, please. I'm the head that catch you by the sleeve. Something what we searching for. Chupacabra. Isn't that just a bullshit legend? Man, it's nonsense. No, I go up into the cave and I'm like, no, wait, what's that? It looks like taking the 8th grade. Fat. So I walk up to it quick. You look hungry? Oh shit, I just got bit. Why you lying? Thank you, you can give me life. Thank you, I love that shit. When you find me, Chupacabra. What the fuck is your problem, people around me that know that my life has to be surrounded. Cameras at all times. You can ask my wife. She's my video man. Thank you, Pat. That is iPad. I might have had it captured on the cam. That's what happened, man. I found a chupacabra. I had to knock them off me, but I bought everyone lasagna from Ecuador. Chupacabra, why you bite me? Why you bite me? On my right hand. But good thing I didn't have to masturbate that week. I was in Ecuador. Latin girls are friggin' freaks. So true. Chupacabra, we now know you. Stacey, do you want to do a thing? Bass solo! Stacey Shopwitz! I know you remember what my flesh tasted like. If you're out there somewhere, just know that you made me a lot of AdSense dollars on YouTube. And I owe you, Chupacabra. So you were acting out of fear. That's not right. Just checking out your game. You know, it's a real story and all, so.
Yeah.
Chupacabra.
Man, that was nuts. That's a banger.
Do you like me? Oh, it's so spicy in my white tea. Fuck. And then Elise performed with us that night at the Burdock.
Yes.
Fuck. And Richard Rodder,
yeah.
who cast me in Side Boob, was there. And he was a little bit worried that I was like an aggressive white rapper, like an Oshawa white rapper. Like a tough, like hoodie wearing white rapper. It's just kind of what it is. And then like respect, that's fine. And he thought like it was gonna be beats, you know. And then he's like, oh my god, I was so relieved when your show was what it was. Like, cause he's like, I cast this guy, like seemed like a nice guy. Like,
oh, I guess I'll go to this show.
Never see this rap show.
It'll be crazy.
And it's like, no, it was that Chupacabra. But you always bring the heat though, man. You got that little chopper.
Yes, the chopper's great.
That's been a unique thing. Can you talk about that as a musician, just straight up on some geek out shit about sonics or frequencies, or I don't know why it inspired you or who you caught game from, but you in the early years, we used to get a lot of comments on your chopper.
Yeah.
And it's this special little percussive additional hi-hat, and the way you utilized it kind of brought another flavor to your drumming.
Yeah. It enables you to kind of get into the trap almost sounds, you know, and get those little extra
bounce. But it had a more copper sound or something. It was more like
it's abrasive.
Yeah. What was that? What was that made of? How'd you learn about that? And why?
I just saw, like everything with drumming. Let's be real. You see someone do it one day, you're like, that's really fucking cool. And then
simple as that.
You just over the years, like my setup is a collection of things that I thought were cool on other people's setups, and I was like, oh, 2 snares, like with one being really low over on the left. Larnell Lewis. like that's so cool, right? And I followed Larnell Lewis around for an entire summer one year. Every gig I would ask him where his next gig was, and then I would just show him.
How old were you?
I was 15.
That is so gangster.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I was watching and learning, you know, because this is.
Were you tall yet?
Yeah, oh yeah.
This kid,
the same size.
15, tall, and then this drummer is like.
Gosh,
this
she must
kid's-
have had growing pains.
This
at
kid's
some
following
point.
me around.
Yeah, I remember lying awake for whole nights while my legs grew.
Oh! What are you? 6'5"?
6'5", yeah. I like.
Bro.
There was this one bedroom at my like old Crawford house that like I went from being small enough to be in like a regular kid bed to like needing a queen size bed
Oh my
while
god.
I was in this room.
Oh, it's so fast.
Yeah, it was kind of hectic.
In
But
that summer.
yeah, I've kind of just been the same size since about 14,
Yeah.
and then just chilled.
It's a good time to plateau.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanna ask you when, if you want to tell us when you started smoking weed.
And your experience with psychedelics and/or plant mushrooms, as much as you like or don't like.
So I started smoking weed. This is a crazy story, but I don't work there anymore, so it's fine. I used to be a camp counselor. And we were supposed to be taking care of some kids, but
Sweet.
well, I mean, the kids were asleep in the tents. We were on an overnight on the island, and the other counselors and I, were drinking some beers that we kept in a cooler that was like submerged in the lake, and then we like pulled
Being
it up and like
teenagers?
had some. We were all like 17, 18, but in charge of a bunch of like 12, 13-year-olds, and
Yeah.
so we felt cool.
Love it.
And so yeah, we're like, responsibly drinking while also being camp counselors. Anyways,
They got to expect that they do that.
of course, yeah. Like, I think they're kind of just like, as long as you're still watching the kids,
Yeah.
like you're fine. Like, so we were just having a camper or a counselor fire.
Nobody
over,
died.
over in our little area.
Yeah.
We had our little beers. We were fine.
Everybody's good.
Yeah.
Secret team meeting.
That's right. And somebody started hollowing out an apple,
Yup.
and I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" And they were like, "Oh, we're gonna smoke weed," and I was like, "What?"
What?
they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna smoke weed. Have you ever smoked weed?" And I was like, "No." Like, no. Like, I was like straight A's fucking student. Like that kid that was in that video that we did, that's like who I actually was.
Oh my god, that's right. Fatsound was in the you were all over the special, bro.
Oh yeah.
And you played this hilarious kid who's just like disgusted that I'm like a class clown.
No, that was who I was in high school.
And then what the fuck? We became buds later in life.
No, it's so funny.
Love it.
But
Because that's who I was too, that kid.
Man, like, it's so funny.
So you guys had an apple and you were
Yeah,
on the island.
so we had an apple, and we hollowed out this apple.
Were you
Yeah, and
nervous?
I was super nervous.
Yeah,
and like,
you were like, oh my
I was
god.
like, what is happening? You know what I mean? Like what is going on?
Oh my god.
Did you feel like saying no?
Yeah, of course I felt like saying no, but it was like all of the senior staff, or like it was the cool senior staff.
Yeah.
You're
of
just
this,
gonna smoke
of this
weed now.
club.
You're gonna smoke weed
You
right
know,
now.
yeah, and like I was like the junior staff. Like I just got there, like, and they're like, we're smoking weed tonight, and like there was like this 25-year-old gay counselor who was just great. His name was Dave Garrity.
Shout out Dave Garrity.
Oh man, like
Gay Dave.
yeah, gay Dave,
Gay
yeah.
Dave.
Gay Dave, yeah, no,
Gay
legit. No, and he ran the camp, but like he was the one who was hollowing out the pipe, and he was like our dad. Like as the younger counselors, he was like our dad.
Yeah,
We would, like,
he's-
so
yeah.
if
like, it's all good.
Yeah, Dave's like, we're gonna smoke this weed, and we were like, oh, okay, we're gonna do this. I guess this is happening.
Yeah. Love that.
And like he was the first person whose house I got drunk at. Like it was like just one of those. So like a lot of like mentorship into that like early adult stage, where you're just
Good
trying
to
to
have a
nice.
wild
experiment and be
Yeah.
exactly. Everyone needs like a gay uncle.
Yeah, I say that. My mom always had her best friend's Will around, and he's super flamboyantly gay, and he just take us to clubs, and he was rich, and he was just wild. It was nice to have that breath of do whatever the fuck you want with your life.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah,
I'm
so
good on
continue.
this, guys. Does anyone know?
Fatsound, kill that.
Oh,
I'm rolling.
jeez.
You've
Off or down.
been doubling up too.
I know.
Go back and forth. As you should, man. You're telling a story about smoking weed for the
Yeah,
first time.
yeah.
Let's get you too high. Let's run those nerves down.
Yeah, so I was super nervous, and it's like an apple, so like it gets the weed all wet.
Yeah.
And it's like not an ideal smoke, but I didn't know any of this. This is the
Outdoors.
first thing that's
Just
ever
a
happened, you know?
little-
And it's just like, okay, so
little
what do I do, you know?
Yeah.
And then like hold the lighter up, and you like breathe in, and like the feeling I remember, because it's still the same feeling as when I smoked this joint, but it never felt that before, you know what I mean? It's just like the feeling of smoke entering your lungs, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Did you feel guilty, kind of?
Not immediately. I think initially I was just in denial.
Like, I smoked
I was like,
weed.
guys, I don't think I'm high, and they were like, I don't know, dude. Yeah, you smoke the same amount as everyone else. Like, you were high, so you're probably high.
Yeah.
And then we were walking to the maze on the island, and I remember looking up at the trees, and all I could see were like different colored shades, just kind of like going over. Like, it was like yellow, and then it would be blue. It was like green, but just like the sky, you know, the color of the sky, like just the tint of everything. Just,
Yeah.
like, just be green a little bit, and then it would be blue a little bit. It's like purple a little bit. I'm like, guys, I think I'm high, and they're like, yeah,
And
yeah.
that warm feeling
Oh yeah,
of being
yeah,
high,
yeah.
your body being hugged by the cannabinoids.
Yeah, yeah. We played Manhunt. No, it wasn't Manhunt. It was Sardines. We played Sardines in the maze. And so Sardines is this game where it's like hide and seek, but when you find someone, you have to hide with them
Oh, cute.
until everyone's hiding in the same place. It's so funny. It's such a funny game. It ends up with everybody hiding and one person looking for all of you in one place. And you're all just hiding in one spot.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, Sardines. So we played Sardines in the maze, and it was just a fantastically magical experience. I've never been in the maze like in the nighttime. It was crazy, you know, like it's like weird, super weird, like childhood, but also like it's night, and so like,
Yeah,
that
there's
was
like
weird.
a little bit like of a
Yeah,
fear,
yeah,
but
like-
you're excited.
It's
and
like a playground at night or whatever
Yeah.
kind of vibe in high school. Yeah,
That's a great first
That's
time.
magical.
I love that
it
first
was kind of
time.
magical.
Was it love at first sight? Was it
I actually
over
didn't
after
do
that?
it again for
Good.
like another year.
Okay,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, that was summer of grade 8, and then I didn't do it until like the end of grade 9.
Nice.
Nice. So
Yeah.
then the summer
better
of grade
time.
9, you were like, let's party.
Yeah, my friend, it was music night at Rosedale, and
Yeah.
this was a legendary music night because the band teacher, who had been the band teacher for like 20 years, and written like all of the arrangements that the senior band played and everything, like the school was legendary because of this man, was leaving this year. And I had just got there, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't even get to be in senior band yet, and he's going.
Oh.
And I was like, damn, you
That's
know?
amazing. Who
but,
was that guy?
His name was Mr. Hayes.
Mr. Hayes.
Mr. Hayes is a legend.
Shout out Hayes.
Yeah.
That's cool. Did he smoke weed?
Bet.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
Sure he
I hope
did.
so.
I'm so sure that he did.
There's
But yeah,
something so
Mr.
complimentary about weed to music and
There
musicians,
really is.
right?
You
really
can
is.
so
hear
many
more.
musicians smoke.
I never
Or use.
isolated a snare in my mind before weed.
Yeah. It'll make music sound totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different. But yeah, Mr. Hayes had put on this insane music night that was over 3 hours long. Like, it was
church.
it was all of the bands were performing that like had regular band programs in the school, but then also anyone who wanted to do anything like just could ask Mr. Hayes, hey, can I play a song on music night? And he was like, yeah. And so this program was
That's
just
fucking dope.
whoever, just for hours, just a variety show, and then like a orchestra would come on, and then
Jesus.
jazz combo, and then like literally,
That
and
seems
like
hectic.
had to make it through the whole school. Like anybody in the school who wanted to do anything musically, like
And it was Rosedale.
tonight was the night. And so this show, yeah, was over 3 hours long. We performed right at the beginning. Like
That's
we were
nice.
grade 9
That's
junior
sick.
band, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we like second thing on, you know?
Nice.
And, like we're done. And my parents are just still in the audience. And
Just watching the whole rest of the
well,
3
yeah,
hour
well, yeah.
show.
Well, they don't know it's going to be 3 hours. I didn't know it was going to be 3 hours.
No
There
one
was
knew.
no intermission. There was never an intermission.
No!
They just kept going. It was insane. It was an insane show. Anyways, So we were like outside hanging out, and we were like, oh, like, hey, what are you saying? Like, you want to go hang out in the ravine? And like the ravine is like where all the kids go to like smoke weed and like do bad stuff. And I was like,
Down to the ravine.
yeah. I was like, oh, the ravine, huh? Like, oh, we're going to the ravine. I'm down. Okay.
The ravine sounds like where we'd go to get a
You
BJ.
said yes to smoking weed while your parents were in
Inside.
an auditorium.
I think, and I'm remembering
I
this.
love that.
I think they actually left.
Okay, I was
after,
like,
after my
I can't-
performance was
okay,
done, and
yeah.
I think the only reason that this was okay was because I was like, I'm gonna stay till the end of music night, and like I waved goodbye to them
Yeah,
as they
you were like,
drove
they're
away.
gone. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
get in trouble. Okay, because
Yeah,
I was
think
gonna
in
say, like,
hindsight,
if you had to see
in
them
hindsight, I think
afterwards-
grade 9 Julian would not have allowed that
Yeah.
to happen at all. No. Yeah. So I got rid of the parents, and then I was like off for adventures for the night because we don't have to play anymore, but
Yeah.
like we can stay until this event is over, and little did we know this event would not be over till like 11 p.m.
Yeah, negotiated yourself some time, buddy.
Yeah, and so we went down into the ravine, and
Down to the ravine.
Yeah, that sounds hilarious.
oh man, and I've never spent money on weed before. This is the same thing as like the first time I got drunk. I just gave somebody $20, and I was like, is that a good amount for the first? And they're like, yeah, sure. Like, and with a 2.6 of alcohol, I got super drunk. But in this case, it was like with $20, I just gave $20 to one of the senior band singers who just happened to be hanging around in the ravine. And she was chill. She was like, you guys want weed? And we were like, yes, please. And she's like, how much? And we were like, here's a 20. And she's like, oh, I'll give you a half quarter. And I was like, I don't know what any of that means. And she just gave us this big bag, like it was like this big. It was like full of weed.
Yeah, you're like, where is this gonna live?
Well, we had to smoke all of it.
Yeah.
We had to smoke all of it because I wasn't going to take it. We were
Smoked
not
a
keeping
half
it.
quarter.
I had no frame of reference for
Oh my God.
for any of this, and we
That's
just
the eighth, right?
Yeah, we just had this little bong that Wesley had that he bought at like a Chinese corner store or something.
Yeah, I know these.
You know?
And they had the filter in them.
They had the little-
filter.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
had to put the little bubbler.
We first got them
You
at
had
like
the-
gas
I love
station.
that filter.
There's a little choke,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Yes.
you take your finger off the choke too, suddenly you get a nice drink of water. It's one of those.
Oh, a bubbler.
Yeah, it was one of those little, just tiny little guys.
You guys are about to get ripped.
Yeah, we got absolutely
Oh my God, you had one of
destroyed.
those.
And so I remember coming up, and we were down. If you've ever been across the Broadview Viaduct, on the left side as you're about to go across to Broadview, there's like just like a weird island, like a traffic island, past Castle Frank Station.
Island.
And then past that traffic island is like this weird piece of land that like connects the sidewalk that's coming across the Don Valley with like the other sidewalks, and then like makes room for the Don Valley ramps and stuff.
Okay.
It's very silly. And
Yeah.
it's just like a nothing piece of grass, and there's nothing there.
One
So
of those.
you cross to that little nothing piece of grass, and then you go down into the ravine. So like, there's no way anyone's going anywhere near you.
Yeah.
And so that's where we were smoking. But we came out of there and immediately had to run across Bloor Street, like 6 lanes of Bloor Street.
So high, and
and-
was it nighttime?
It was like dusk, and so all I remember is like the car's lights are on, but it's like you can still see. But all I remember is like I started to run, and I just felt like the earth like tilted towards me.
Yep. Because of your perspective.
Yeah, because your equilibrium is all messed up, and I was just like, this is insane. This is crazy.
I remember when I first got super high when I was like 20. I had that same equilibrium thing, but I
Yeah.
was sitting in a chair on my buddy's laptop in his place.
Mm-hmm.
It was my high school friend, but we like had since like I dropped out and like we're like so he was graduated out. I left, and then a couple years later we had worked and did our thing, and then like became like buds again.
Mm-hmm.
And we smoked some weed, and he smoked a lot more weed than I did, and I took a big hoot like that, like a bong rip.
Yeah.
And I just remember sitting. I was gonna put on like rap beats, and I felt like the laptop was just
Oh,
like
yeah.
melting
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah.
going sideways like this or something.
The shifts are weird.
You
man.
get the shifts and the whole
shifts.
equilibrium thing. You try to get up to walk, and you're right. The shit just changes where you thought it was. Like that whole depth perception thing is real.
Yeah.
I think more seasoned stoners like we are now, we're able to like understand that like, hey, don't take space too seriously right now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it takes a while to get used to that particular side effect of marijuana.
Wait, sorry, you're running across the highway.
But yeah, so we ran across the highway, and that was the moment that I just realized that I'd smoked a whole half quarter to my face.
And were you
and what that
freaking
actually
out?
meant. Yeah, well, I wasn't freaking out necessarily, and like kind of we just wrote it out because the show was still 2 hours after that, so we were just kind of like in and out of the auditorium,
Super high,
and like telling all our friends how high we are, and like
that's awesome.
Just wandering around. Yeah, and eventually it was the end of the night, and I like took the subway home. And like tried to not act like a weirdo when you go inside.
So, dude, you are a city kid.
Yeah.
You took the subway home after your first time getting baked. I remember taking the subway to East Vancouver, where my dad lived, when I was baked as a teenager. That's a special feeling. We'd smoke.
I love being baked on airplanes now.
Oh, being high.
It's the fucking best. Taking an edible before you just go through security.
Yeah.
Hello.
This is probably one of the nicer joints I've ever rolled.
Oh my goodness.
Congrats.
It's just tight. It's good weed.
tight.
It's white truffle.
Can you guys just quickly talk about
Yes.
that up north trip that you had when we still lived in Shithole and you guys left for a road trip and a night of performance?
Oh, when we lived in Shithole. Which one? Which north trip? Did you mean Sarnia?
Yeah, that.
Oh, sorry.
Sarnia is south.
South?
Yeah.
It's like, west.
No, I don't think we lived in the shithole. Did we do Sarnia twice? Once with
we
TJ?
did Sarnia a few times, I think.
Okay.
We've done it
I
at
think
least 3
once
times.
was with Shit
Right.
and Shithole.
Okay,
Sorry,
maybe
this
the
is
first
Liam.
one.
I should...
Holler at him. Pick it up on the podcast.
Yeah.
Make it speakerphone.
Hello.
Where you at?
You're on the
Discipline.
Discipline Stoners podcast.
Hi, Liam.
Hi, Liam.
That was perfect.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. We're just gushing.
Yeah. Just talking too
We're
much.
smoking
Smoking
weed.
some weed.
Love it.
Yeah.
How's your day?
It was good. Just got home from work.
Oh, nice.
And you're like, where's my boyfriend?
We've kidnapped your boo.
Where the hell is this bitch?
Where's my dinner and cuddles?
I think we can send him home semi-soon.
We're only going to get him a little bit more high, but he'll be real easy to take advantage of.
Perfect. I love it.
Oh my god.
Love.
All right. I'll let you guys get back to the podcast then.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Love you. Bye.
Love you.
Cute and good.
Fucking
Cute and good. That was sick. I think that was
Oh
our
my
first
God.
call-in.
That's so
awesome.
That's actually
That's
so
awesome.
crazy
We wanted
because
to.
today I was thinking about how to do like live
Right,
call-ins.
right.
Just like that.
That'd be so fun.
Dude, let's call someone else. That
I
was
think
fun.
you.
Fucking get a phone.
That's so
No,
funny.
let's not. I want to talk about your Sarnia trip,
Okay,
and then
Oh, yeah, okay.
and then we're gonna
Okay, sorry.
start to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay. One of them was a Halloween gig.
Yes, I remember the Halloween gig.
We got very drunk.
How did you get this gig?
I think just on Facebook, someone introduced me to the lady who owned that bar. Like
That's right.
like-
yeah, she just ran the Facebook page for the,
Yeah,
for the bar,
and
right? And she
like,
would just get
like Julian said, like your network is your net worth, and someone like Mike Celia or another like musician who
Yeah.
had played there had introduced me to her, and this was just as we were starting to like be a unit that could be sold.
Yeah.
And shout out this bar, McFlaherty's or
something like that.
Fiddlers?
O'Flaherty's. Or,
I got to get the right
That's
title
nice.
and put it here, but thank you for this lady.
yeah.
Was one of the first people to actually pay us and book us and like give us a
Like, as the
hotel
11 band, yeah.
as an 11 band and like, hey, what's your rate? Like I think it was $500 something at the time, like something, you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like it was like, there's your
That's
rate.
good at the time.
At the
Jeez.
and then we all got like
I
a
remember
That's almost our
when we
rent
got a
at the
hundo,
time,
and-
you know,
yeah.
yeah, right. So like it was good, and then like there was another opportunity, or maybe it wasn't money opportunity, but like they gave us food or something,
Right,
or
right.
beer. Like
Yeah. And
they
like
were
the
very
hotel
generous.
was included.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
very generous. We
Yeah.
had fans take us to Wendy's Wendy's after.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. This was
That's
an
right. This did
epic
happen.
trip.
Yeah.
This did happen.
And then we woke up. We were given like a couple hotel suites, and then like I can't remember who took who. Like we were drunk.
You got, yeah, you
we
had
were.
to be
yeah.
so
I
ripped.
can't remember who had whose room. Maybe it was you and TJ Whitelaw.
TJ Whitelaw and I
God,
had our own room.
TJ?
Yeah.
And then it was
the
the-
party was in your room.
Evan, yeah,
Yeah.
and you guys were the quiet room, and that was good. So that was sick. And then Evan McHattie woke up in the bathtub,
in the actual bathtub.
and he was holding a bottle of Johnny Walker Red, which I don't remember anyone having. I just didn't remember it,
I don't know what
and then I think the next morning we were going to
I
breakfast.
think we have a picture of him
There
in the
is
bathtub
there's-
somewhere.
I think there probably is a picture of that. But there's also a picture of us going to breakfast because we decided to reenact this photo.
The photo
that was on a wall.
that we all found hilarious.
It was the greatest photo. It was so random. We were just going to a breakfast
we could
restaurant.
not stop cracking up about
Why
how
is it-
hilarious.
Why is this here? What's
And
this doing
it was
here?
a guy on a horse. Did I get on your back?
I'm going to dig deep for these
Oh
photos.
And Evan and TJ was
Oh,
just.
man.
We couldn't stop laughing.
That's
Yeah,
a
someone was getting
crew.
stabbed on the ground. Oh, yeah, there was the whole thing. The whole thing, man.
That's an epic crew. Was it just the four of you guys?
I think because Evan played keys and
played
he did the
bass, yeah.
Yannick thing, right? He played bass, but on the same thing. It was originally the Evan thing, is he plays bass, and so that was really cool and exciting.
Holy
we must have done
shit.
it another time or something, because I
But
do
that
feel
was
like there
the
was another
epic
time.
time.
Yeah, and I think we were at 703 then. I don't think we were in Shed Hall.
Okay.
So I remember TJ dropping us back off. He had his mom's white Ford.
Oh, yeah.
Did we stop at Evan's
I thought
house?
you guys took our car at one
I
time.
think one we had our car.
I think
I
one
think
we did,
one
yeah.
time we did before that, but that was the Halloween show that was
That
epic.
was- that's
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, there was a
Sarnia,
couple
man.
travel gigs like that.
Yeah.
And thank you guys so much for believing early on. Like that God, that helps you believe in yourself, eh?
Again, like, this is what I'm saying. I've just always been the guy who's down to clown. Like, if we're gonna pretend like we're rock stars this weekend, like, and go live in a hotel in Sarnia, like, let's go. You know what I mean? Like I'm that guy. Like, I'm totally that guy.
You are that guy.
Yeah.
You show up and you have this wonderful grace about you, as well as this endurance, like this ruggedness that comes from your ability to endure, maybe sitting in a car like this for 5 hours.
Yeah. It's been done. It's been
And
done
just
for
like,
sure.
I'm like, God love you. Just like, you get him a double and a donut, and he's fucking happy for a minute. Like, I just bless you, bro. Thank you,
Oh,
man.
man. My heart is full. Damn.
But that continues to lead to good things for you and with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that, bro. That's very fun. And you know what? You might as well do it anyway. I get it. I mean, believe me, I'm the same way. I'm the nutcase facilitating some of these fucking journeys. But like, might as well, hey?
Yeah.
While we're here, might as well. And we're lucky to kind of have each other to bounce off of and validate our psychoness of, pursuing this. So that's really special. I think that's my favorite part about the journey towards inevitable success has been Pokemon like yourself that I've been able to like collect along the way and learn from and like reflect with. So super special. But yeah, Sarnia was one of those memorable
Man.
things.
Crazy
I'm going to scour the internet for photos.
Crazy times. I can
Yeah.
find all those photos. Yeah. I know
Yeah.
where they
And
are.
also we did Canadian Urban Music Week or
Yeah.
something. Like we performed at Adelaide Hall. You came with me to the conference.
There's a picture of us looking like bosses at Canadian Urban Music.
Dude, I know, like this one.
Like
we got
people,
the
no,
glasses.
people were like, "Who are those guys?" Like it was very serious. We just rolled in with an attitude, like we were like, "Yeah, we're some people.
We're the vibes,
We're
yo.
some people."
Buzz it.
What's that? We like it's total. We're just acting.
I think at
but
any
this
point.
is the thing. Like so is everybody else. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And so. Like, yes, we didn't have a hit record that came out previously the year before or whatever, before we showed up like that, but we showed up like we had a hit You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, just,
I did that for the first time this year at the ACTRA Awards.
I saw that.
I bought
saw
myself a
that.
ticket
You
to the
fucking
ACTRA
did it.
Awards, and I was like, I'm gonna go fucking be an
Go
actor.
do the photo wall.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
And it was fucking perfect.
And it was
fucking
really,
sick.
it like felt good. It didn't feel like icky or whatever.
You
it
know
didn't
why?
feel like I was just going to like get the photo. I don't know.
Because you can bus it. Because we developed our craft.
Yeah.
At any
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
if anyone called us on, oh, you guys are
Right.
artists, drop a beat.
Right.
Bust that, now bust back.
Oh, yeah,
Fuck that.
I'm
like,
just
we
more
will
confident.
bust it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
showed
that's
up and
literally that.
someone goes, hey, do you want to do a project? You're like, I'm sharp. Yes.
Yeah.
Yup. You want to see some acting right now? Act the fuck out of this
Yeah,
right now.
it's
for
not
you.
like I need 2 months to get my mental in order
we
or
will
whatever.
bust their
it's
ass.
like tomorrow. What's going on?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
what are you
Ass.
saying?
Fuck yeah.
I got holes in my schedule.
Yes, and I'm ready
Right?
to
Love
fill
that.
them.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's a nice little marker of success.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think, like, for me, the next 10 years is just being about trying to keep busy, you know? Like, I just want to do things
Compound. It'll compound. It
Exactly.
compounds.
Like looking at what happened over the last 10 years when I wasn't really focused, but I was just trying to
Learning.
just continually
Yeah.
do the thing. Like, if this is the culmination of just sort of trying to do the thing, like, if you just knuckle down for like 10 years
Yeah.
and like focus in a direction, I feel like it's like, you
Yeah.
know, world's your oyster at this point. So I think like from 30s to 40s, that's like what I'm looking at.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, fuck. And also, everyone, in the next 10 years, you will see a bunch of content of us on a yacht because
Oh,
we've made
this
that
is the thing.
agreement
We've
with one another.
decided. We're
Yeah.
going.
We're going to do a yacht at some point.
1,100%.
And I'm going to get ripped for it.
You're already ripped and we're already yachting. Let me talk about our new shit. So I held this artist hang, of course, when my first text, when I basically do anything, this guy, he comes over, cooks up a crazy beat. The group is there. We all step to the mic, do our thing. 2 songs come out of that evening. One is about to drop August 11th, or is literally dropping like the same week as this episode.
Yeah.
You produced it. It's called What a Feeling. I love that you and I have developed a process. I want to just like talk about this a bit because it will naturally intrigue people to go watch the music video that's here.
Do it on the grind for the feeling. Do it all the time for the feeling. Don't get lost in the feeling. Do it all the time for the
You are the only uncooperative component that needs to come to the party.
Does anyone like rap music and or weed? Want to listen to my rap song for?
Yeah, I think in the case of those 2 songs, like all I did really was get out of the way.
Ooh.
Like I'm just here to just, you know, provide the minimum like carpet for people to stand on, you know, and then it's just I just get out of the way.
And then the song happens.
Yeah.
And then you leave it with me and I arrange it a bit and give it like a prelim mix.
And I come back and I arrange it a bit more and then
you build these crazy
like
specialized sections,
right,
like where the
yeah,
drums
the
reverse.
drums is,
Like that's
yeah,
all this guy like. And we both kind of bring our ingredients to this thing, trying to like objectively make it better. And then you leave it with me, and then this one specifically, I added some strings.
Yeah.
I was inspired. You wrote what the strings are doing basically in terms of like the notes, right? You like, he writes a synth accent that's like, and it's like this pulsating tone.
Yeah.
But then my wild mind, I'm like, let's bring it up, and I want to hear it in like 6 strings, and got a violin to go, like. So like we layer, and like we kind of like bring our focus back and forth on it until it like resembles like a whole thing. And then for this one specifically, What a Feeling, we shot a sick music video.
yes, we did.
And Winnie DOP'd it.
Yo, I killed it.
No, legit.
Have you seen it?
Like when
The new
video
draft?
is crazy.
I
The
know,
video looks
right?
insane.
It like
nuts.
is actually
No,
crazy.
like it's like so good.
Yeah.
Like
We got blessed with this structure.
yeah.
the whole thing was blessed. Like my
just- it just
camera
all
worked
happened.
that
It just kinda
first
happened,
shot
yeah.
that we
Like,
got. Like
nuts.
I don't
It's
do
nuts,
that.
yeah.
I don't know how to
Just
do
one
that.
taking.
Yeah.
And this
What?
guy was dressed so cool, all in white.
Yeah.
And we
Suffering for art. Yeah.
Yo, it was
It was so hot
Way,
again.
way too hot.
It was so
It
hot.
was as hot as this inside was.
Hotter.
Hotter.
And we're outside, but like we're dancing, and we developed this kind of
Made a little dance for it.
like
Yeah.
like this.
It's like a little step,
This
a little
bass
two-step.
line that you wrote is kind of like a Bay Area DJ Mustard type.
Yeah, it is a little DJ Mustard for sure. A little like 2-step, like yeah.
And then like the bouncy drums.
TikTok friendly too.
Yeah.
What
And,
a
like,
feeling. Ugh.
What a feeling.
I
And
hope
Patrick
that-
Walters,
Yes.
so cool. We got Saint Kitts on the track, and he's so cool, man. I know him from Rise, and he just did his thing. Yeah, I love the way this one came out, and the way that we were all. He wore all black. You wore all white. I was wearing my purple weed thing. We all like really
It looks
showed
great.
up.
You guys
in
all
the
look
video.
so good in it.
Everyone had their own little thing going on.
Yeah.
Everyone's personality comes through really well.
And the edit is fucking rad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that from the beginning because you got to be clever. Like, unless you have like fucking 10,000 for a video, just don't bother. Just get creative. Like, you know,
you have to. You have
shoot
to.
it
Right?
on
Yeah.
phones.
Yeah, we shot it on phones. We shot it in an hour,
Literally, like probably an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
hour and a half.
Hour and 20 maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Including all the
And then
bothering people on the street.
We stood outside and I tried to convince people to listen to our song.
It wasn't the right area.
We decided to go to Queen's Banana at a time when the main corner of Queen's Banana is like not accessible.
Very
so.
busy.
Yeah, and just people are walking. If you ever need to talk to people, you got to go to a beach or a park.
Yeah.
All right, nice. So that's next time we'll do it in Trinity.
Next time we'll do
Yeah,
that
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, the video is really good. I'm really excited. It's really fun. So guys, go check that out. I definitely put a snippet of it here.
Hey, guess what? What? Everybody, it's an excuse to get stressed out. Yes, it's exactly what we wanted. It's just our day. How about taking inventory of how we vibrate? That determines our state, but that's okay. I call the homies over to create.
The beauty of creation. Chilling with Ellevan, talking about some elevation. Thankfully, his friends are on some cool shit to do to make this beat. They put me on to something new. What a feeling.
That's deliberate creation.
What a feeling.
It becomes a cooperative component.
What a feeling.
To adjust your vibration.
What a feeling.
1 + 1 ain't 2, it's 11. What makes sense anymore? Probably nothing.
I wish we had some behind the scenes of Winnie with like 3 backpacks on and like a phone gimbal just like running down Queen Street like backwards
In
Yes.
hot.
to
in
get these
hot.
shots. Like insane
What a
insane
G.
behavior.
I fucking love it though.
See, that's what
You
I'm saying.
know, like there's a part of me that had all of that on, and I was like, people are watching me, and I look fucking rad. Like there's for sure
I
a part
appreciate
of
that.
me, like
I
but I
appreciate
want to
that.
I do it to get the shot and to do it in a way that we can all have our items on us, because that shot would never have happened
If we had to worry.
we walked way too far away from the bags.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Patrick put his
Gatorade was
Gatorade
like
down.
a block away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was cool, man. That shot looked so cool, and everyone was just like being like cool about it. You know, it was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Go watch it because it's a great
It's
video
really
and
good
it's
video.
a fucking good
It came
song.
together so nicely.
And it's perfect for the end of summer. And go fucking watch it. Is there anything?
Shit, the dude who made this beat put me on to something new.
Oh,
What did you
I
tell
brought you
him?
guys. Hang on. I brought you guys a present.
What?
Because I'm gonna tell you what I told him.
Thankfully, his friends are on some cool shit to do to make this beat. They put me on to something new.
Oh!
Hang on a second.
He brought us a present and and
now
he's
you
gonna
can see how tall he is.
he's gonna reveal what he told Patrick Walters that inspired him to put it on the verse. And he has a book.
Brought a book.
He has a book.
Brought a book.
Oh, we love that. We love this philosophical edge.
So this is what I was talking about.
Oh.
So I told Patrick about this book that I've been reading.
Shit.
And how it's like changed the way that I'm approaching everything for the next 10 years. And so
Let's go.
yeah, it was basically just to distill it down for like a soundbite, you know what I mean? Like it's basically the idea is that you can't get to where you're trying to go doing the things that you're doing currently. Or like organize the way that you're currently set up, right? Nothing that gets you to the version of yourself that's 10 times where you want to be right now. Like none of those systems are going to carry over, right? You're
That's
gonna
so
you're gonna have to
annoying.
radically revise literally everything in order to get those larger.
You gotta do
goals.
it step by step, though.
Basically, it's so this is the thing, and like 2 times. So the book is called 10 times is easier than 2 times, and 2 times growth would be, like I just want to do double the sales next year, right? Or like double the streams on my song in the first week, right? Like
No.
that you can't do linear growth,
Yeah.
because if you're just doubling or tripling, like you're gonna try to do the same things or just try to like make 20 more TikToks next time, or just
Right. You're just
gonna
increasing
try
More
to-
of the same.
best
right.
you can.
Let me spend $2,000 on marketing this time. But what's actually going to get you actual results is if you set your goals like impossibly far away, right? So like let's say I just had a song that debuted at 100 streams, right? I want my next song to do 1,000 streams in the first week. And that's 10 times my goal. And nothing I did about the song that got 100 streams is going to work for getting 1,000 streams in the first week. I'm going to have to change everything that I do about releasing this song in order to get that 1,000 streams, right? And so this is the idea, basically, right?
Wow.
And it's
So aim higher.
yeah, and I feel like this is the sort of stuff that we have been talking about for just years. And it's all just like so crystallized in just such nice language in this book.
Sick. Dan Sullivan. With
Yeah,
Dr.
Dan
Benjamin.
Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy. Dan Sullivan actually lives in Toronto part of the
Sick.
time. So
Shout out Dan.
yeah,
Come on the show, bro.
I would love to talk to Dan Sullivan.
Fuck.
But yeah,
That's
this
crazy.
is my gift to you guys.
What?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Really?
you have to share it. I was gonna bring two, but I don't have
Thank
to.
you. Wow, that's amazing. We're gonna.
They only had one copy at Indigo.
We do out loud reading.
Okay.
I
good,
out
yeah.
loud read
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he
The
listens.
audiobook is really, really good as well. I got the audiobook
yeah.
first, and then.
Thank you, bro.
But the audiobook is so good because it's like having Benjamin Hardy reads it, and he's like a.
That's so nice.
He's what is he? He's a psychologist, but he's a specific kind of psychologist, occupational psychologist or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's a very specific kind of psychologist, but he's very good at. Well, he wrote the book, so he's very good at like getting it to stick, in your brain.
I
So yeah,
love
like I love
this.
listening to the audiobook for like a good hour right at the beginning of the day, and it just like puts my brain into like the right places for like
Organizational
what we're
psychologist.
doing. That's what he is. He's an
Wow.
organizational psychologist.
I feel like I could benefit from that.
This is amazing, bro. Hay House. That's been that's kind of I'd love. That's fucking amazing,
Yeah, man.
dude.
Thank you so
This is
much.
amazing.
That's such a nice gift.
That's my gift.
Oh, I can't wait for this to
Yeah.
read this and put this in my brain. Love,
Me too.
bro. Thank
Yeah, we'll
you.
talk about it in future episodes.
We should do this thing. We used to do this thing where we'd flip to a random page in the book, and like we read it. Do you
Yeah.
can you say a number between 1 and 173?
Yes. Go 86.
Amazing. And this isn't a page you've memorized, right?
I'm a
Can you
I'm a drummer.
imagine?
I pick even numbers that can divide.
Hey. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about how drummers' brains are different too.
Yeah. We structure things.
Yeah, we can see the space around or something.
Yeah. I like 8s and 4s.
Totally. Okay, I'm just going to start what I saw first. What am I focused on? Going pro as a writer? I've been full-time entrepreneur for 4 years now. I've started 4 different businesses, 2 of which succeeded, and a number of smaller projects. More than anything I've done, I love writing my articles each week and helping people build habits that stick. So it's time to phase out other projects and turn pro. Mostly, that means finishing my first book, and 2015 is the year to do it. In his 2015 annual review, he stated that he got his book deal for what became Atomic Habits. At that point, writing the book became his #1 focus, his new 20%. He still maintained his blog and other activities, but those were subtly,
Subtly,
subtly becoming part of his 80%, which he was phasing out to focus on his next 10x jump. He also mentioned hiring his first full-time employee to manage much of his online business while he wrote the book. In his 2016 annual review, Clear describes the challenge he faced transitioning from world-class blogger to writing a world-class book. What didn't go so well this year? Book writing. Plain and simple. 2016 was the worst year of writing of my young career. I haven't been at this very long, but I've been in it long enough to know what this year was a total disaster from a writing standpoint. It all started at the end of 2015 when I signed a major book deal with Penguin Random House. As soon as the book became a reality, my perfectionism kicked in high gear. Looking back now, I realized that I spent a large part of 2016 learning how to create a new style of work. For the 3 years prior, I was writing a new article every day, Monday and Thursday. The focus was on creating great work that was usually 1,500 words or less. Now my writing ambitions have grown, and I'm working to create a remarkable book of 50,000 words or more. This transition from rapid work to deep work has been hard for me, much harder than I expected. I'm just now learning what it takes to create something of that scope and do it well. Sick. That I can already feel it in my heart chakra of like motivation.
Right?
Dude, thank
It's
you.
just all the best stuff. It's just people talking about.
It's nice
trying
to see
trying
people.
to make ideas reality. You know?
Yeah, it's nice to see people lay it out.
Yeah, and like
Helpful.
He's an organizational psychologist, so he's he sorted it out. You know?
What is that feeling? How do you organize your beats in the computer? Are you a well organized person?
I have habits of organization. So in terms of production, like I will label everything. Everything will be like I've sent you beats before. You know what I mean? It's like tempo, key, all of the
You
things.
put
that
it
are
all in the title?
right? Like
Nice.
that stuff's just habit.
Yeah.
So I hesitate to say that I'm like super organized. You know?
That's good.
Because
That's sane.
I know that I'm not organized. I think, and so knowing that I'm not organized has caused me to build systems to like make sure that the
It gets
organization
done.
is kind of in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great. I
Gotta do
need
that.
this. This is
Yeah.
going to change my life.
When
Oh,
you
man,
feel
this-
that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Feel that book.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
that book. Yeah.
Yum.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate
Yummy. I love this.
This feels like a very full, beautiful place to wrap her up.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for this conversation, bro.
Man, you two are my
And
favorite
you.
people.
Yo,
Yeah,
bless
same.
you. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Always
Love you.
nice.
Mhm.
Always a beautiful hang and always beautiful co-creation.
Yeah.
Where can people find you? And if they want to get a beat from you, what's the best way? Or
Yeah, all my
this?
socials are at Julian Fatsound. You can hit me up there. Send me a DM on Instagram because I'll respond there the soonest. If you want a beat, or if you want me to play drums for you, or if you want to come to the studio and write, or whatever, you know. Yeah, hit me up.
What's your at?
It's at Julian Fatsound.
You did. Yeah. He did.
You said that?
Yeah.
I'll be high. Love, bro. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for having
Thank you.
me. You guys are so cool.
That's who you are. Subscribe, tell a friend, send nudes to those who you're allowed to. Have lots of fun, dance alone, and yeah.
Say
be
nice
well.
things to yourself.
Oh yeah, be kind in your brain. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
So good.
Oh my God. I cannot believe. Thank you for being our.
Any musical styling for inspiration from the gentleman, a genre of music that you enjoy? Jazz. Fucking awesome. Let's get jazzy, and we're playing with, this is called Frozen Fruit. Oh, baby. It's getting hot this year. It's getting hot in here. I need to cool down. I need to cool down. It's getting hot in here. What shall we do this year? Let's try something different together. Man, the fridge is empty, but I should check the freezer. Yeah, we should touch each other. Yeah, kiss and tease ya. Where you gonna put this? I've taken off my Caesar plus my t-shirt, sitting in the bleachers. What you got? I got a sweet little slushy. I'm spinning it round. Tastes like cherries now. It always tastes like delicious fruit when I'm going down. That's what you were hearing about. The last person, Winnie, I eat it out. Sorry, that's my dad, but this is the evening out. I dine and then I eat it fast. Damn it, man. I would love to hear a drum solo. Let me hear you make some noise if you would like to hear that also. I think Phil can hold it down with a simplistic kick while he kicks this. Go ahead and show him what percussion looks like. Raspberries, blueberries, pineapple, but they're all frozen. I'm still curious about that. Raspberries, blueberries.
Welcome to Discipline stoners. The gateway drug to mindfulness. Look deeper.
To think that we started this podcast to fight a stigma, only to uncover so much love that we realized that you can't put your energy anywhere but what you want.
Look deeper.
And what we want is authentic conversation. What we want is quality medicine. What we enjoy is each other.
We get to learn from our guests. Manage the best. I would manifest this.
Part of the magic of the plant is how it uncovers what you've been hiding away.
So much love.
Look deeper. Feel more. Tune in.
So much love. Look deeper.
We're not here to be lazy.
Welcome to Disciplined Stoners.
We're not here to distract ourselves.
The gateway drug to mindfulness.
We're here to learn. We're here to grow. That's all the questions I have at this time.
Thank you so much.